Girl! Slay the house down boots, mama.
Now that was a bad choice.
Right. No. Don't try to change the subject. Spill the tea.
Okay, but what was she expecting?
Well, that bitch is crazy.
Honestly, pop off.
We should have talked first.
Can you blame her?
She should probably drink a little less. Literally.
Well, let's get into it then.
It's time to spill the tea with Damen B. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Spill the Tea with Damen B and with Graham. Woo woo.
Hi everyone. Hi. I'm not
And
feeling so great today.
yeah, she's hungover.
Yeah, we got a little bit crazy. I was telling David we cleaned out our attic yesterday, and it was such a big job that we had to celebrate when it was done. As you get
Right.
older, you find things to celebrate.
I moved my furniture around yesterday,
Yeah.
and
So you had to have a party, right?
well, I had a piece of chocolate. So
Okay, so same thing. Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
we're gonna talk about work-life balance.
Ooh, love it. Love it. The balance.
So, Grandma, do you have a work-life balance?
No, of course not. I'm from a generation where we just worked. Well, there's no such thing as balance. What are you talking about?
Right. Everyone was
Right?
cracking up for you.
Right.
Yeah.
There was none of this. Like nowadays, I couldn't believe it when they said, if you're sick, just text us. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, no more of those terrible phone calls where they know that you're lying and you feel so guilty because you're lying
Right?
on a
I
Monday.
well, when you're hungover, because you cleaned out your attic on the weekend.
Well, I did go to work though, because I'm from a different generation. I don't take days
Right.
off because of hangovers.
See, I used to feel bad for calling in sick when I first started working. So when I was 16 and stuff, didn't want to call in sick. I wanted to leave a good impression. This past job, I didn't want to call in sick either because they only pay you 60% for sick days, and I'm like,
Oh, how do they get away with that?
right? That's what I
Yeah.
was like, what? And then after a year, it would go up to 70
Oh,
and then
I see.
80.
Okay.
But then I
So they
was
had a
just like,
step program.
I didn't
I've
like
never heard
that.
of that. Yeah.
Oh, no. I was like, if
Well,
I am
here's what I've heard of.
okay.
Either you get paid for them or you don't. Like I used to work at a place for years and years and years that there was no such thing.
Oh, well,
You just didn't. You weren't allowed to get sick, and if you got sick,
well, Grandma, I'm just gonna say that time is when you had to go out and gather food. So if you didn't gather food,
that's when we used to take the horse and buggy to town.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
Um,
I wonder now, like, as far as work-life balance, I really don't even understand the concept. So can you explain it? Because I don't
yeah.
really understand it that well.
So when I think of work-life balance, I feel like we work all our lives, but the whole point of life is to live your life, not at work. So
Oh,
there comes
when did
a
all this
work
happen?
life balance because you need to work in order to get money to survive, but you also want to
Oh,
enjoy your life. So,
oh,
and you have to manage it too, like doctor's appointments. If you have
hmm
children, what if your children can't go to school that day?
right. And I
Work life
noticed in the
balance.
new job that I have, I actually have they what's called appointment time, which I've never heard of either. Where if I like over the year, I have X amount of hours for appointments specifically. So not sick time. It doesn't come out of my sick time. It doesn't come out of anything. But it's specifically if I have a dentist appointment, I can use that. Or I have the option. Like the other day I had a dentist appointment, but it was only 45 minutes and they're about 10 minutes away. So I knew I'd be like an hour. And
Mhm.
I said, you know what, I'll just jump up and make up the time so that I can keep that in case we have to. But the nice thing about it is even if my husband has an appointment, you know, in Halifax for his heart or something like that, and you know it's
And you
gonna
gotta
take all
go.
day, and I
Yeah.
have to take him, then you have that option to take that time, and I think that's wonderful. I mean, that's
I would love that
wow.
because some places are only open during work hours, 9
Right,
to 5 for
right,
appointments. So, like,
right.
I have found a dentist who works until 7 p.m.,
Oh, wow.
so I
Okay.
could go after work and go get my
Mhm.
teeth
But
cleaned.
it's probably
Now,
hard to get in
it
too,
is hard to
right?
get in
Yeah.
because everyone's thinking that.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and then fuck, you got the doctor's office, who's like, "Oh, can you come in at 11 a.m.?" And it's like, "Well, no, I can't because you're 40 minutes away." And
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can only. Oh, this is one I hate. They're only supposed to talk about one thing per visit because they only get paid for 15 minutes. And I was just like, I was like, I'm
I
not
just go
taking
in
more
with a
time off
list.
work.
Yeah, I just go in with a list and I check it off. I'm like, "Okay, so I'm here now," but see, I don't make a lot of doctor's appointments. So I'm not one of these that sit at the doctor for every little scratch. So and I tell them that. I say, "Listen, I don't like it. If I cut myself, I'll sew it up myself before I would bother with an ER. I would." So tell them that. I say, "Listen, I don't take a lot of time to go to the doctor, but when I do go, it's actually serious, and I need someone to do something." So,
Yeah,
and my guy I have now, he's a nurse practitioner, and I like him better than a doctor. He really
I'm
seems
seeing a
to
nurse
listen to me.
practitioner.
Yeah,
That's my next appointment
it
because I said,
seems like
"Honey,
they're a little more like down to earth,
well, I just
a
want to
little
say,
bit.
I don't got time to be waiting on my doctor. My doctor makes me
Hmm.
wait for appointments. No, 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 no. Get me in, get me out." So I booked a phone call appointment so I could take it at work during my lunch,
Right? Yeah.
and then I don't have to go waste all this extra time. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
excited.
I'm loving that this type of video calling and being able to phone call for smaller things and not have to take
Yeah,
3 hours for a 10-minute, "Hey, I need,
yeah,
this," or, often you know what you need, you just need a prescription for it, right? So
exactly.
this way, you can just call in and say, "Hey, can I get," and then if they need to see you, they'll say, "Hey, no, we need to see you first." But, yeah, I really like that. So that's a bit of
Yeah,
balance that I like
yes.
in this lifetime.
Well, I really like that appointment time stuff because that's smart. That's smart to
Mhm.
have like a place of
Yeah,
appointment.
and it's not I don't think it's a lot. I think it might equal out to like 2 days or something over the
Hmm.
year, but at least you're not taking your sick time for
Yeah,
that. Like that's actually for appointments. So and when you divide that up, if it's an hour here or 2 hours there, it's pretty good. Like at least you
yeah,
don't lose a lot of pay. So I like it.
exactly.
But work-life balance, how do you feel about retirement age? What do you guys
Retirement
feel?
age? Well, for myself, because I'm going to be rich and successful, I know
Right.
my retirement age is going to be about 50, 55. But I
Mm,
think for
mhm.
most common people out there, 65 is the age for retirement. It's
I'm
you're supposed to
exhausted.
have a pension.
I'm so exhausted. I just don't know how I'm gonna make it to 65. I can see why people work to 65 and then die the next day. I get it because like you're just tired. Like it should
Yeah.
not be 65. And at one point the conservative government raised it up before Justin Trudeau, so who was in Stephen Harper, he raised it
Think
up
so.
to 67 because they don't want to pay the money, right? So that's an
Right.
like 2 more years that you had to slave away to get your pension. And then Justin Trudeau did come in, and if we all recall, when Justin Trudeau first came in, everybody was terribly excited because number one, he changed the he got in marijuana, made that
Oh, yeah,
legal,
yeah.
right? Everybody loved that. And then he also lowered the retirement age back to 65. I don't think a day over 65. In fact, I think it should be 60. I really do.
Honestly, I think so too because people are dying left, right, and center. So a lot of people aren't gonna
They don't
see
make it.
retirement. They
Yeah,
don't make it to 65.
right, right.
So that's why I'm
And
saying
I
like
find
50.
now, as far as cognitively, I feel like they should make it 60 because at this point, I'm starting to get like I can't do anything more on social media than Facebook. Do you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not computer like savvy or social media savvy. So it's time for us, like that's kind of like a dinosaur, get out of the way and let the young people in to do to bring their
Oh,
expertise with this sort of stuff that we're really like I literally I'm
mm,
sure they're asking me at my volunteer place to set up an email. I cannot figure it out. I don't even know what they're talking about and I'm like trying really hard but it's not happening. So I mean it's just things like that that I just can't understand, and I
yeah,
really frankly, at the end of the day, I don't want to. Like, I'm
exactly.
tired. Yeah.
Go live
So,
your
what do you think
life.
of that? Do you guys think
Um,
you think 55 or 60? I think, like, 55 would
oh,
be fabulous.
well, 55 would be fabulous. But, yeah, I think it should be younger. Honestly, you're right. I think it should be. Maybe
The
60.
hard the hard part is I think it's set up, you know, in a way for people that are sort of on a hourly wage, you know, like a minimum wage, to
Mhm.
get to that point of having enough money to retire. You literally have to slog until you're 65 if you're in that type of work. But it seems to me like things are changing as far as wages are
Yeah,
going. And so, I mean, you got to look and take care of, and maybe that's part of what could happen is some sort of base payment, you know, for each household, or maybe households that make under a certain amount of money at 60, they would get a base payment along with their pension, something
right.
like that, that keeps it so that they're not out on the street living in a box because
Honestly, senior citizens, there should just be a senior citizens discount, like, everywhere, like, 80%
they
off.
shouldn't have
Like
to. It should be like teenagers. They shouldn't have to pay tax, any tax. Like it should be just. It should, yeah. Like the thing is like, what are they? 10% of our population. I mean, after our baby
oh,
boomers
I'm not
go,
sure.
uh,
Yeah, well, we gotta get those
after
people
that,
out the
yeah,
door, yeah.
we gotta get them out of here.
Because 'Cause
But
they're
once
making
they're
up
gone, I don't.
40%.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what
Like
the population is, but I don't think it's as big as the middle population. And even if it
Right,
is, haven't they paid their dues? I feel like I
right?
have.
I
Yeah,
know. I already got a casket ready for you because I know you could go
I
any
know.
day.
I
You
know.
you paved
I'm
the way.
freaking tired.
You're
I'm
tired,
tired.
and you're gonna
I
collapse
am.
soon, so
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm
Especially
ready
when
for
I'm
you.
hungover. I mean, honestly.
Wow. You drink to survive because you're so tired all the
And you know what
time.
I was thinking, but I don't think I could handle it. I was thinking about starting drinking wine, but I think I'd become an actual wino, and then it'd just be every day hangover.
Oh my god.
I
You'd have
couldn't
a
take
glass
it.
every day. Do you think that would help with your diabetes? Because,
No.
Stanley from The Office, he has, like I think
Yeah,
he says
that's
he
for
has the
heart
best one.
disease. It's
Oh,
for heart disease. Yeah, diabetes that's not good for because of the sugar content in wine. It's a lot.
right.
So that's why I don't drink it, but I was thinking about it.
But beer is okay?
No. None
Well
of it's okay. None of it.
Oh, so question for you. Do you have a drink
Mhm.
after work sometimes? Do
Never.
you just no, never? Me either.
No,
Actually
I should. There's been times now, but I think what you would call a binge drinker, and again, I think that's just my upbringing. We all did that, and I just kept with it. So, but I have recently went to a restaurant, and what I'm really getting into is the on tap beers, like the local.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So I have went and just had like a beer or two beer with supper, and you get a nice little buzz because it seems to be a bit stronger, that beer, but you're not like plastered and, you know, dancing around the house and
yeah.
naked or anything.
Right.
Oh, what? What?
What? What?
No.
You slipped that in?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so work-life balance. I think I love working from home, and
Okay.
that for me has made a real difference in my life. And I had said it for a long, long time. I couldn't understand why, at the hospital I worked at before over in Ontario, why we weren't working from home. I could never figure that out because we're not necessary in the sense of seeing
Yeah.
people, and really our jobs require us to be like isolated. So I always thought that, and now that I'm working out here in Nova Scotia, all of the people that do the same job I do work from home. There's no office to go to
Well,
anymore for
that's
us.
actually nice.
Yeah, and
But
I enjoy it a lot. I don't need the socializing. I don't need the I really don't. I don't like when people get into, fights and in the office and the politics and gossip. I'm not a big fan of that. It makes me get a little bit of anxiety,
well, you
you
don't
know?
really have to interact with people, right? For your job, it's just
No.
doing what you're told, and then it's like you're
There
done
is
pretty much.
a small portion of the job but no, for the most part, there is a part of it that we could be doing, but they're actually breaking that part into its own job
Oh,
now
okay.
where and even that can be done over the phone, um, and at home. You can still do it
Yeah.
from home, but you do talk to people, but you don't have to, be dealing with people one on one. Yeah, so I've never seen the reason to be there, and now I just find it. I love that I can a. I jump up at 10 to okay. I start work at 7. I jump up at 10 to 7. I walk in here and I turn.
Lovely.
I have like if I don't know if I could turn it around, but I have my coffee station over here, right there. So I click on the coffee when I walk in, sit down, sign in, and I'm going for the day.
Wow. Well, I pretty much do the same thing because I also work from home. I work from home 4 days a week, and I go into the office 1 day a week. Now, I personally don't like it as much because I like the social aspect. I like walking to the building and getting my steps in, but that's
Yeah,
also
and maybe,
because,
what younger people would like that too. Like, maybe
well,
your age group, it would be more inclined to be socializing a little bit more.
I think it just depends on the person because I know a lot of
Mm,
people do like working from home, but I'm just a social butterfly and
mm.
I like get my steps in too. And it's hard to
Oh, okay.
do when
Yeah.
you're work from home. So you have no motivation to actually go out and walk outside unless you have to
Right.
do something, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
well, I have to go to the office, so I have to walk there, which is 15 minutes. So it's like that's what I'm
Oh,
missing
that's
every
good.
day. Yeah,
Mhm. Well, you just gotta make yourself go for a walk.
I
As
know,
I
but I
said
don't have the time.
with my exercise routine, I've just convinced myself like I'm like J Lo getting paid to exercise. I do it on my breaks, and I every morning like, this is crazy, but every morning I wake up now and it's literally like I snap on the ball and chain, because every morning I'll get up and I put on, like, exercise pants, socks, shoes, and then 2 weights around my ankles. So that every time I get up and I'm walking, I'm actually exercising until noon. So it always feels like I'm strapping on like
Oh
leg
my
irons or
god.
something every morning. It's like, oh, getting ready. Oh, ball and chain. Here we go. So, but I am doing it and I'm getting the exercise. And I think that's part of work-life balance that you can't get if you're in the office. I would never be
Mm.
comfortable to be exercising in an
Yeah,
office environment, right? Like, you're not just going to lay down next to your desk in your cubicle and start doing sit-ups.
exactly.
But
Who would do that?
maybe people do they? I don't know.
I don't know either, but, like, today I did laundry, that was really nice because it's always,
Yes.
like, busy on the weekend, so I'm like, "Oh, well, I can just do it at 12 o'clock today when I take my lunch," and then I go down,
Yeah.
put a load
Yeah,
in.
I set
Yeah.
mine in, like, on 1 day a week, and I'll set it where I put it in before I start work. Now I'll have to get up, like, 10 minutes earlier, but, like, put it in and then go down on break and then go back down at lunch, and by the end of the day, my laundry's all done. Whereas before, you're working 8 to 4 or 8 to 5, whatever it
Ugh,
is,
yeah.
driving the 2 like, for us, when we were in Northern Ontario, that was quite a drive.
Yeah.
So you're about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day on the road, getting to and from work, and by the time you get home, ugh, who's wanting to do
Oh,
laundry or clean?
and when you work from home, you save money because that's less money on
Yes.
gas.
Yes.
Gas and then
That's the
mileage on
other
your
thing.
car. Yeah.
Yes, my car has sat out there, well, even the neighbor commented and said, "Do you ever leave? Do you ever go anywhere? Like, your car is never gone, it never moves." And I'm like, "Well, I don't gotta go to work, so" yeah, and what's
Um,
he up to?
yeah, I was like,
Checking
"That's
watching my
creepy that the
car.
neighbor is,
Well, they then
2
another one's like, "Do you ever"
binoculars."
yeah, the other one's like, "Do you ever go outside?" And I'm like, "Ew, that's such a weird question. Are you watching?" So, did you get to see the eclipse?
No, so, funny thing is, it was so cloudy here,
Oh,
um,
really?
that
Oh.
I thought a thunderstorm was happening, but then I remembered the eclipse is over, so it got so dark.
Oh, it got really dark, yeah.
But about 10 minutes ago, clouds disappeared, sun's out, and I was like,
Oh,
"Really?
no.
Cool." So,
We
yeah.
ours is clear skies here, we saw it. We went out
Yeah?
with 2 sets of, sunglasses, and your grandpa colored in a piece of glass,
Oh,
and, yeah, so we actually did see it. It wasn't complete here. It was
oh.
here in Nova Scotia, but a apparently over in Fredericton and area, it was complete. But, here but it did get quite dark here, and we went out when it got dark, and we live out in the country, and there wasn't a sound. The birds, like, I wondered, did they think it was nighttime? You know how birds will
Yeah.
go to bed type thing? Because all of a sudden, everything just stopped. It was just silent. It's really cool.
Maybe dinosaurs had a similar experience with, like,
Possibly,
the
but
asteroids came.
again, work-life balance, that allowed me to be able to go out and do that today. It was like, I was right after work, but I would have been driving to
Yeah,
get home.
that's
So,
true.
so I was already here and just walked outside. How nice is that?
You
Yeah.
know, it's also nice too. You don't have to plan your meals ahead of time because I just go in my kitchen and make my lunch too. When it's lunchtime,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't have to do it the night before or plan ahead. I can just walk to my
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah, and that can sometimes cost more because you get tired of doing that and you wind up going out for lunch because you're like, oh,
Mm,
I'll just go out today and get it. And whereas when you're at home, normally you're not close to usually
mhm.
restaurants unless
Yeah.
live close by. But normally you just run into your kitchen and make yourself something to eat. So yeah, you save money that way too. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about working from home and your work-life balance.
And your life balance.
Your 'Cause I
Uh,
don't really still get it. I work 3 jobs, so I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if that's balance or what that is.
Grandma's trying to retire.
Yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna do that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Probably not.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, some people just go to work.
So do you have anyone, like, in your workplace or in, your experience that you think, "You should just retire already?"
Maybe. No comment.
Oh, no, I mean over your lifetime, like, what
Oh,
have you
yeah, yeah, yeah,
experienced
yeah.
that? Like, you've experienced somebody and I have too, where
Yeah,
I thought, "What are you doing here? Why" like, you
yeah.
and especially in a hospital environment, the pensions are fabulous. So, I mean
Right?
yeah, so really, why are you working till you're 70?
I'm
You must
planning
have
on
a
s
very
oh,
sad life,
I'm planning on
right?
staying in healthcare forever, I think,
Yeah,
just because of the pension, and it's like
pension's great.
retirement at 50, 55, and I'm like
Mhm, mhm.
so I think
Yeah.
that's yeah.
I can actually take, mine how am I 54? I think so. So I actually can start my retirement next year. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Like, I don't think I probably won't. I probably will wait till I'm 60
Yeah,
and
push
do
it
it.
as long
'Cause
as you can.
yeah. Yeah, and I think I've got that long in me. So but at 60, I think that'll be it. Because I think
Yeah,
for me, especially, and for anyone when you're diagnosed with a disease like I have, or like your grandpa has heart disease, those things don't go away, And so you gotta look at it and go, "What, like, really? I'm not gonna, more than likely, like, possibly I'll live for quite a while if I keep it in check and everything goes fine." But for the most part, you have to look at it and be realistic and think, it eventually something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And am I gonna work to the minute that that does happen, or am I gonna stop and enjoy a little bit of life and before that happens?
Well, see, with my diagnosis, I don't know because I've been
What's
diagnosed
your
with,
diagnosis?
well, a delicious snack. So I don't so it's
Delicious snack. Is that what they call you?
yeah, or asthma.
Or
That's the other
asthma.
one. Or asthma.
Yeah, yeah.
Can
Well,
you imagine?
I don't think asthma is gonna kill you anytime soon.
Well, unless I'm running for
Maybe
my job.
that that peanut allergy might, but it
Oh my
hasn't got you
gosh.
yet. So, oh my goodness.
Whew, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Out of left field
Very
there.
good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, other things about work-life balance is, um, sorry, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you mentioned your coffee, how you can just make it. I've saved so much money on coffee because
Mhm.
I loved going to Tim Hortons every day, getting my iced coffee. Now I'm a hot coffee drinker because I got myself a Keurig. Just a
Okay.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's seconds. Seconds.
Yes.
Oh god,
Hot
30
coffee.
seconds. Hot
Right.
coffee.
And I think that you probably do lose weight in the sense that, like, when I used to drive to work, I'd do the same thing, stop at Tim Hortons,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'd always then get a sandwich too, right?
Yeah,
And their sandwiches are high in calories, all fast food is.
yeah,
So you know that you're eating, like, right there, you're eating like 600 calories plus the
yeah.
coffee, which is another,
Oh,
cream and sugar, and you had to have cream and sugar in their coffee. So, I mean, you're at a 800 calorie breakfast already.
yeah.
Then we worked in a hospital. So guess what? And where I worked, it was all homemade food. Like it was made in the hospital. So your cafeteria, why would you ever bring a lunch, right? You just go down and have lunch there, but quite often it was fattening too. So I gained a lot of weight when I worked at the hospital.
Oh, at my old work, because they
Mhm.
also had, like, homemade, like, it's called Chef's
Mhm.
Plate, and it's actual people who make it, and they,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, real chicken, real mac and cheese, like, all these
Mhm.
delicious things,
Mhm.
and then oh, what I hated, though, is they would weigh it. I'm like, "Why can't we do, like, an all-you-can-eat buffet price?" So, like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank God they didn't,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I saw every time I'd be like
You'd be working on a couple extra 50 pounds.
right? So
Yeah.
when it came to corn or like peas or something, I'm like, okay, I'll take extra scoops of this because it weighs less compared to, the lasagna that I'm packing
Mhm.
in there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
that weighs 5 pounds.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, and maybe I do miss that in a sense, but I think it was health-wise, I think it's best that I'm not eating that kind of stuff as much as I did before because I that was pretty unhealthy stuff.
yeah.
Like, the Tim Hortons and whatever. But
It is
that's part of,
delicious.
working from home. Work-life balance, I think I would love to have a lot more holidays, and I don't know why I didn't negotiate that. I'm pretty sure I could have. I just never thought of it. But, I do think that's important. And what I find now is being that your grandpa is retired and I'm still working, that makes it difficult for him and for me in the sense that he wants to go places, and for
Yeah.
him, a Wednesday is the same as a Saturday, doesn't matter. And so it would be nice to just pick up and go, but you have your work. So that's kind of hard. Yeah.
Sorry, I've received 5 spam calls, and out of this whole time we've been podcasting, my phone, my number has got leaked to, like, the spam center from, good old Northern Ontario numbers, like, just calling me, like,
Oh,
five
okay.
545. Like, what the actual F?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've had
Mm,
how many have I had today? like 8 in total. I had 3 before this podcast, 5 now.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, back to work-life balance. So
Get that off your chest.
yeah, so it's just my phone kept vibrating. I'm like, "Jesus Christ,
Can't
man."
you get it where you I have it where it takes that off. Like I don't receive those calls. It will tell me that I have like
Really?
I don't know how I have that. Yeah. It
Oh, well
says we think this is spam.
well, I had to answer during the day because working from home means my cell phone is a part of my work life, so I have to
Right.
answer all of my calls coming in,
Oh, okay, yeah.
um,
Yeah.
which
Right.
fucking sucks. That's the one thing I
Yeah.
don't really like, but, also for work-life balance too, um, what was I gonna say? I got a little cash or yeah, a little cash to like, get a desk and stuff because I just was like,
Oh, right.
I'm working from home now. I don't have a space. And they're like, "Oh, here's a little
Yeah.
money to make that
Right.
happen."
Right.
Like, so that was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can claim it on your income tax,
Yes.
your office space in your home, which is nice as well. Um, that comes in handy. I don't know how much of it, but for me, because I also run my own business, I get to claim it twice.
That's true.
So, woo woo. Hopefully that helps with the old taxes because it's not going to be good again this year.
Oh, I want to ask you, so what do you do while you're not working? Like, if you can imagine
When am I
when you're
not?
retired, like, what are you gonna do every day, you know?
You have to know, like it's surprising. When I was your age, people would say, "Oh my god, the day goes so quickly, I don't even know." And I'm like, "Huh, really? Like, I don't know, I'm sitting at work and it just takes forever."
Yeah.
The day goes really quickly. Like, I'm finding it now for your grandpa, I think it's like everything speeds up. So suddenly, like, a day goes by and you're like, "Where'd that go?" And you've barely done anything. And for me, what I'm finding is the weekends.
Oh, the
It's
weekend
like
goes by.
Yeah, it's like, What happened? It's Sunday already, Sunday night, and I'm going to work on Monday. Where'd the rest of it go?" But it's not really that long, is it? I think we should have a 3-day weekend.
I
I
think
think
so
we should
too.
make up the hours like and especially that's what I was going to say. If you work from home and in a position that I have where I don't have to um, be here within certain hours, be available to anyone outside of what I'm doing, like, to me, I would like to see it where they go, "Okay, listen, we want this done as a quota in the week.
Yeah.
We don't care how you do it."
I'd be okay with that. Honestly, I would be okay with that. I would find a way to make
And
it
I don't know
happen.
why they don't. Like, okay, so maybe I'll do it over 7 days, or maybe I'll do it in 3.
I think Sweden or Switzerland has that. It's one of the S's. But
Mm,
they do something like
mhm.
that over there. Works amazing. We should do it over
Yeah,
here.
because, what I think about that is, so then if your grandpa wants to get up and go somewhere on a Friday and take the Friday, my work's all done. I plan for that.
Yeah.
I get it all out of the way Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we start again on Monday. I don't see what the issue is with that. I just don't. I
In the
don't know
past,
why we have
yeah.
such tight, you know what I mean? Like everything's held so tightly.
In the past, like other jobs, I could get so much done in a few days and then like have nothing to do because they're like, oh, we gotta kind of stop and wait. So I'm like, well, then why am I here? Why am I
Yeah.
here today? Kind of.
Yeah,
So it's like,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And we have like quotas, and like it's not set in stone, but it just gives you a general idea of what you need to get done. So for me, because I've been doing it for so many years, and don't tell anyone, but maybe I
oh,
shouldn't
so
say this.
yeah, this is a great place.
Yeah, yeah, out to the world. No, but
Yeah,
I can get a lot done. If I sit down and put my mind to it, I can do like about triple of what s- someone else that's only been doing it for 5 years has been doing. So I literally could get my quota in 2 days, probably.
okay, Speedy Gonzalez. Let's
Right, right.
so
But like to me, okay, but I've been doing it for that many years, so shouldn't I get a little bit of a,
exactly.
and and if I can get that done, why can't I have 5 days off?
I think you mean 3 days off.
Well, and Saturday, Sunday. No, but I
Yeah.
like, if I could get my work done in 2
Oh.
days,
Oh, I
you
see what
know,
you
why
mean.
can't I
Oh,
have,
okay.
like, the next 5 off and start again Monday?
Well, I think you're being a little extreme there.
Really? Am
Yeah.
I?
Yeah.
Why? I don't
5
get it.
days off and work for 2 days? I feel
No.
like that's a lot of work. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
I th
9 to
yeah, I
9?
think they yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, it would be
Yeah.
like 12 hours.
Yeah.
2 days of 12 hours, but still, that's not
I
even that
guess,
bad. That's
yeah.
only 24 hours.
That's true.
Mhm.
Like,
But
I'd
I
be
think
okay
there's
with that.
labor laws and stuff like that you gotta get around.
Well, do labor laws apply to the elderly? We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't
Do
know
they?
that. Well, the sweatshop I seen had kids and elderly people in it, so I don't think
Old
so.
people, old retired people that
Yeah.
needed to make up some money because they don't get enough.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're doing quilts, quilts and knitting and
I
stuff.
do know a lot of, people that retire and then go back to work, and especially in the job that I'm doing, there's a lot of people that retire, and apparently if you retire and then get that all cleaned up and settled, you can go back to work and it doesn't affect your, income from your retirement.
Oh,
You do have to pay tax, but it doesn't affect anything. You can work
yeah.
as much or as little as you want, and there's a lot of people that come back part-time to what I do.
So I know that because my one grandma, she was thinking about getting another job, but then she just wants the social aspect too. So she actually
Mhm.
volunteers at a farm in the summertime where it's just like
Right.
whatever day she can go in and then she
Mhm.
picks like produce and stuff. Um,
Right.
but I know a lot of other people who get a job as a greeter or someone at like Costco or Walmart or like
Walmart, yep.
yeah, the food
Yeah,
samples
and
people.
it's really more for, I think for interaction with people. I think
Yeah.
there are and that person that I was saying earlier, do you know a person or have you experienced that where they're at work and they're 70 and you're like, "Why don't you" but some people just don't have anything else. And so
Hmm.
when they retire, they just find that they're going out of their minds
Yeah.
crazy because they have nothing else. So they tend to return to work and have at least that little bit of social interaction. Like I had one aunt who, like your grandmother, quit, like retired from her job. And then she started working part time in a flower shop because she had
Yeah.
always wanted to work part time, like in a flower shop. And she just found that the most wonderful experience of her whole life, her whole work life. So,
The one thing you wanted to do your whole life and you finally get to do it.
right.
That's a nice
Right.
moment.
So I mean, that's a part of retirement, but work-life balance, I don't know, is that retirement? Or we maybe we're getting sidetracked again.
Well, you work
We could
for almost all your life. It's time to get that life
balance
balance
it.
up. Yeah, your work is
Yes.
down here, life's up here. You gotta like,
Eventually it's got to happen
it has to
somehow.
balance out. So,
Oh my
well,
god, I
for some
can't
people it
wait.
doesn't. So, but like, what do you save your holidays for and stuff? Like, people save up time, vacation time. What do you do with it?
Um well, we do a lot of traveling. Both your grandpa and I are very inquisitive people. I think we have a lot in common when it comes to that. So we like to go places and see. So like go somewhere even close by, but get down those roads, those back roads, and where
Oh,
does
the
this
back
take
roads.
us, and where do we go, and like we've seen a lot of stuff that people wouldn't see because we just like seeing. So our, like this year we were talking about l- um like, I'm going to Mexico, of course. That's my first
Yeah.
destination wedding. That's gonna be really interesting in a couple of
Ooh.
weeks. Yeah, so a week there. And then we're talking about going over to Ontario in August, driving over. And we really like taking the northern Quebec route. So
Oh.
it's like yeah, yeah. It's, it's pretty, open space and but it's beautiful. It really is. It's gorgeous, and it's all Indian Reserve all up through there. Um, and lots of campgrounds and, like, just those side of the road motel type things that most people don't like staying in, but we love it. We usually
Is
get
it 2 days? 2-day trip?
Yeah, like we'll leave well here especially well, we might leave here and go to New Brunswick to Heidi's to my
Okay.
daughter's and stay there and then it'll be another 2 days drive.
I gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, we try and get halfway across Quebec up to the top in the middle and then we stay at a
Yeah.
there's a place there and then we go back we head down into Northern Ontario. I think we're gonna try and go there. So that would be a week, and then, we were talking about driving up to, New Brunswick, Northern New Brunswick, where we lived where you were when we first moved
Oh,
out here. Yeah,
yes. Yes, I remember.
yes.
Y
And just taking a cruise around there and just seeing some old places that we really liked up there, and then yeah, so that's, the kind of stuff we like to do. That's what I like for holidays. What do you like?
um, Usually I just see family on holidays, go to my cottage in the summer with my other
Yeah,
grandmother. I like to see family. Now that I'm finally getting more money, like I know this year I'm gonna go on a vacation. So
yeah.
when what is that called? Cyber Monday comes back around. I've seen so many great deals on trips to Cuba for
What
like
is Cyber Monday with? Is that with Christmas? What is that with? Christmas or
no, I don't
what
think so. Thanksgiving.
holiday is that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah.
Um So yeah, it's like was that Boxing
Yeah, we need to talk
no,
about that.
Black Friday and like Cyber Monday. So I love making like vacation dates. Well, that's what I'm gonna start doing, I think, every year. Because only $750 round trip, all inclusive resort in Cuba. It was like a 4-star
I wanna
resort.
go to Cuba. We gotta
So
go. I wanna go with
yeah.
you. Okay?
Okay. That
I'm
sounds
going.
good.
So, there you
Um,
go.
because then it's just like I think that's good. I'm gonna spend a week, a week there, just have great time off. But okay, here's the other thing with work-life balance. When we
Mhm,
just had the Easter long weekend, I kept panicking. I would wake up every day and say, I'm late for work. I'm missing this or something. I would
mhm.
have just this terrifying fear I was missing something at work. And I don't think that's healthy.
No, and I'll tell you, which I didn't realize until I got one of these, new fandangled watches, one of these,
Oh,
Fitbit.
oh, a Fitbit.
So it looks at, like, your sleep.
Yeah.
um, your pattern, sleep pattern. And I didn't realize until I got this watch and I've been watching the pattern that during the week, I'm exactly like that, where I don't sleep very well. And I do believe it's because it has been ingrained into me so hard not to be late. You
Right?
can't be
Oh,
late. That I don't sleep well. Like, you'll see it, during the week, it'll start out, like, Sunday night,
yeah.
it'll be, like, 6 hours, then it goes to, like, 5.5, and then it's
Yeah.
5, and then I will get a better sleep because I'm so exhausted, but
Yeah.
then another night, and then on the weekend, it's like, "Huh," and I'll sleep 8 hours.
I think
So,
I
it's
have to
kind of
start
odd.
taking sleeping pills, I think,
Oh,
because
be careful with those, though.
I know, but I don't care if I get addicted because I just need a good night's sleep, and I find myself I'm worrying about too much that it's
Mhm.
just like is in my head where I'm like, why am I thinking about this? I try to get it out. I try to have a blank mind before I go to bed.
And then I
And
have a bit of, like, FOMO weeknights. I don't get that either. Like, where I'm fear of missing out, um, like, I don't wanna go to bed, which is really
right?
odd for me. Like, I wanna stay up, I don't want the day sort of to end, I guess, and so then I'm not getting a good sleep either, and when I do finally go to bed, like you,
Yeah.
things are going around and around and around, so
Well,
it's difficult.
I know I'm a good worker and I can
Mhm,
tell because
mhm.
some days when I do lots of work, I come home, I hit the bed. Like I'm
Mhm,
in that bed. I have a two
mhm,
and a half hour nap. I usually wake up around 8:30, 7:30, 8:30, and then I'm like bing 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 like I'm wide awake. Sometimes I'll go to the gym at 10 p.m. because I have all this energy, but and then I don't
mhm,
have a good night's sleep. But it's because I worked myself so hard. I just got so much stuff done. And I'm just
mhm.
looking at a computer screen. That's the other thing that I don't like about working from home all the time is you're just staring at a computer screen the whole
Well,
day.
and that's why I like what I like, I got this stand-up, sit-down desk,
Oh yeah.
And, I like, even with the weights around my ankles, but when I go to the washroom, I do exercises going there and coming back and try and just get moving so that I'm
Yeah.
not, like, sitting, and I find that really has helped. It has.
I hope when you're 57 or something and you try to go up to like use the washroom or something and you think you still have your weights on and
Oh
you just
god.
take like giant steps. Like,
Yeah, huge. Like like I'm connected to balloons.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I do that when I
Yeah.
get off the treadmill sometimes or the bike if cuz I'll run for like an hour or pedal for an hour and when I get off my legs, they're used to that
Oh, yeah,
motion. So there's
yeah,
just one to
yeah,
go. Oh
yeah.
my god, it's a crazy feeling. Anyways, I think that's enough on work-life balance.
Well, I think we figured it out.
I think we cracked the code. Retire at 50 and hit the road.
And hit the road and get vacationing. Who cares where the money comes from?
Exactly. The government should lower the
Okay,
age down to 50. Period.
right. Perfect. Okay.
Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I hope that was very educational for all of you because it was for us. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, I'm your host, Damen B, and I hope you enjoyed spilling the tea with me.